guitars and sing you a country song. We'll all be flying higher than a jetliner. And if you want a little bang in your yin-yang, come along.
Come along and welcome aboard. Indiana Sports Beat coming to you, of course, from the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios on this Wednesday, December 30th. Another great show today on the program. Jordan Hulls will be joining us here shortly. Bob Kravitz, he had a great piece out on the Watch Shot, which, you know, we kind of thought we were done with that, but the anniversary just was happening. But he talked to everybody. It was a unique look. It was kind of cool, actually. Talked to all the participants, and so we'll revisit that with Bob and Jordan Hulls, who had a pretty good view of that. Kyle Neddenrip also going to join us, catch up on IHSA basketball. Where are we with that? Lots of other stuff going on. Indiana, of course, taking on Penn State tonight at the Simon Scott Assembly Hall. That game is at 8:30. We'll be there, and of course, that means after the game, Todd Leary coming to you live from Yogi's, approximately about 10:30 is when we'll be firing that up. So make sure go to YouTube and subscribe. Just find Indiana Sports Beat's YouTube channel. It's under youtube.com/C/Indiana Sports Beat. But that way you can get notified and you'll be ready to go. So you can always be there and never miss a thing. But looking forward to that. Looking forward to having Bob on today. A lot of looking forward to talking about one of my favorite new subjects. The self-imposed bans being implemented by many of these teams right now that are, let's just say, would be expecting a ban. Arizona is the latest basketball program to do so, removing themselves from the 2021 tournament, I believe, along with Auburn. LSU football has done the same. Surprised LSU basketball has not done that. How about LSU? Your entire school is going to be postseason ineligible. That's classic LSU, though. Make sure you hit us up on the text line anytime you wish, 812-9267. I'm not even reading the number. Forgot it. Haven't given it out. Was it 66367? Noah, what is that number again? I haven't given it out. I got to start giving that out a little bit more often. Got the same regular people that usually like to text in on there. And then during the day, the thing is, I know people listen to the show throughout the day on the podcast part as opposed to live. But you can text in anytime. We'll get back to it, whether it's questions to any of the regular guests. I'll hit them up on it next time. But what are your thoughts on that self-imposed ban? It's just teams trying to skirt. These are teams that are all going down. These are teams that are facing NCAA bans. We're talking about Arizona. We're talking about LSU. We're talking about Auburn. Smart. Hey, this is going to be a terrible year. Let's bolt. Yeah, well, hopefully. And luckily, a lot of the coaches, former coaches, guys in the media, Dan Dockage included, Fran Fraschilla, saying, whoa, you guys got to calling on the NCAA to not fall for this baloney. Because it's been so easy during this time of COVID to just mask everything over and let everything just be okay. And say, well, everybody gets a pass. Everybody gets a free year of eligibility. Everybody gets a transfer. Everybody's going to get paid here soon. They're just doing everything. I'm like, whoa, there has to be law and order, man. You have to finish up on this law and order portion of these programs that are just rampant cheating was going on. And now they're trying to use this time as a masking agent. Hopefully that is not allowed. Some great games in the Big Ten last night. Well, I look forward to talking to Jordan Hulls about Rutgers and Purdue. Purdue had an excellent chance. Ron Harper Jr. out for Rutgers, their leading scorer. Number 14 Rutgers, but they are able to handle Purdue 81-76. That is a big, big win for Rutgers to get by a Big Ten team without their main guy. That's huge. I mean, that is huge because you're going to take a lot of losses in this league. And You try to minimize that at all costs. And that last night was an excellent opportunity for Rutgers to have lost a conference game because they didn't have their top guy, and it would have been understandable. But they rose up and got past Purdue. Rutgers is on the rise, guys. How about Northwestern? Didn't get it done last night, but they went into Iowa. That was a heck of a fun game. The Hawkeyes end up winning 87-72. But it wasn't for Luka Garza. I mean, he only had 10 points up and through the first 30 minutes of the game. I don't know what he ended up with, but he ended up with 18, which is a great night for most people, but it was the first night he hadn't scored 20 in quite some time. He had a streak going. It was the longest in the Big Ten in 30 years, I think, of consecutive 20-point games. The dude's a beast. Lots of beasts. But no one bigger than Jordan Bohannon. If you watch that game, holy cow. That dude was stroking it from all over Iowa. He would just come down and cross half court on a breakout and just stop and pop. Dude's got confidence, and it went in a lot. Watching Iowa, I've said this before, watching Iowa sure reminds you of watching those Indiana teams of the 90s. Just solid inside and out, shooting, don't make a lot of mistakes, fundamentally sound, winning. It's fun to watch, but the Big Ten's fun to watch right now. Those games were just battles. Northwestern, they scrapped pretty much the whole time. It's on the road, and that's a great – even though Northwestern doesn't win that game, they're going to reap a ton of benefits from that game. They battled the whole time. They fought. So that pays dividends. Jordan Ho's joining us now. There's a man that knows that more than anybody in the world. Jordan, I was just talking about Northwestern last night. They lost to Iowa 87-72 on the road. But I was watching that game, and, man, they were in it for most of the time, but they battled the whole time. Battle. That's gonna pay great dividends in this Big Ten season, as tough as this conference is, I think.
100%. I mean, if you're especially on the road, given there's no fans, but you're still on the road, in a harsh environment, playing against a really good team anytime you go in battle and give yourself a chance to win the ball game, then they're good. And like you said, with as good as the Big Ten is this year, you're going to have to show up every single night.
Well, let's get to some fun talk, man. I know the family is now in town, so that has to be Uber. Oh, my gosh, you got to see your baby for the first time. Holy cow, I keep forgetting all this stuff. That's so awesome. So happy for you. What was it like?
Well, actually, what happened, they were supposed to get here the 23rd. So hear this out. So my son was born in Germany. He didn't have a Social Security card, so we had to cancel our flight because his passport still hadn't gotten back to us in the mail. So we're still trying to get them out here, but hopefully we get that figured out. And I'm still anxiously awaiting him to meet my daughter face to face.
I feel so bad. That's so bad. That's so terrible.
It's okay. No,
what other year could it happen in 2020?
Exactly. That's just that's what we just kept saying. Well, it's 2020, so we can't be too shocked about that. But it's going to work itself out. They're getting over here as fast as we can get them here. So it's we're just taking all the and the best we can with it. And again, my wife's being a rock star with it all.
Aren't they usually always?
Yeah, 100%.
Talk about glue guys. 100%. There's your glue guy.
That's a great point. Yeah, she lets me bring my whole family across the water for a great portion of the year for me to play a game. So I should be pretty thankful for her.
Absolutely. I was trying to pull up the Pro Bowl Hoosiers that I retweeted yesterday because it has your stat line, but it was all four. There's four of you that were just a great stat line. What'd you 16 points in your game last night? I think I'm trying to find it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We 16 points. It was good win for us. We're 9-1 in the league right now, in first place, which is really, really good. Winning cures a lot of different things, especially over here. So good to win ball games, good to be contributing and doing my part. And I'm with a great group of guys who make playing the game a lot of fun. And like I said, when you win, that's always even more fun. So hopefully we can keep it going. And we've had a lot of games here in a short amount of time. We play again on Saturday, and then we have a week in between the next game. So just trying to recover, trying to stay as fresh as we can, and be ready for the next one.
How hard has it been getting back into the season? I mean, because you came back from the States to Germany and just got to get right into it, basically. How tough, especially because there was a big delay. Everything's different. It's later. All the stuff, you've been doing all these different things back here, training, and just so many different things. How tough was it to get back into that mental frame and all that goes with it?
100%. It's I think for a lot of guys this year, because during the summer, not a lot of places were allowing you to go play 5-on-5, play a lot of pickup. That wasn't necessarily the case. And in Bloomington, where I would try and go and play with the IU guys or do whatever I can to get some good runs, and I didn't get to do any of that. So I put all my chips in to train a lot of kids. So I was in the gym a lot, or I was outside for a good portion of the summer training kids, and that's where I got my workouts in. But any basketball player knows once the game condition is way different than just running on a track or running sprints. When you're playing defense full court for 30 plus minutes a game or whatever, it's a lot different type of conditioning. So it was an adjustment getting over here for sure, to getting that different game shape and just getting your knees and your feet adjusted to the quick change of directions and all that kind of stuff for longer periods. It was I was kind of thrown in the fire there right from the get-go, because I did get over here late. But it's gone nicely. I feel like I fit in really well, and just playing as hard as I can, like I've always tried to do.
And you didn't have Aubrey to take care of everything else to get everything going, because I imagine that's tough. I'm about to get Yogi. So you've been over there having to cook for yourself. I'm going to have to get Yogi's to send you some mini corn dogs, some things you can easily throw in the microwave.
Hey, if you can do that and it gets here in somewhat good time, I'd be all for that. That'd be awesome.
I promise you, I'll get Chris Martin on that. He'll do it. I promise you, he'll head that way. Bob Kravitz is going to join us next. A great piece that he did in The Athletic, talking about the watch shot, which I thought we were all past that, but his was such a nice, unique, different look at it. It was cool and just made it fun again. But looking forward to talk about that, because you obviously had a great view of that, one of the people in that. So looking forward to getting to that. Joining us next here on Indiana Sports Beat, back with more from the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios. Hello, Robert. Yay. Hello, Mr. Bob.
Hello, how are you guys?
Great. Hey. Jordan here with us as well.
Oh, good. You
How
found
are you?
You found him a real job. Good deal.
Whether you're meeting the team for that post-game meal in the family dining area or meeting friends for happy hour to watch the game on one of Bubba's 50 TVs. Bubba's 33 in Clarksville. Pizza, burgers.
He's got a different view. Where are you? Someplace different, Jordan?
I'm just in my bedroom right now.
Oh, okay. It had always been the same view, and it had never been different. So I'm like, oh, that looks like a completely different place.
No, yeah, it's just my bed now. I'm just laying down.
No,
nice little backdrop here. So
isn't that the greatest thing though? You can do this stuff laying down now.
Yeah, this is perfect.
And you can go weeks without shaving too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You had a beard before, Bob.
I've always had a goatee. But,
yeah, okay. I knew it was something. I thought it was something.
It covers up a couple of them chins,
Yeah. When they first started doing that, I did that, and after I'm like, I can't take it. I was like, God. After like 3 or 4 weeks, I'm like, that's it. I got to shave. I got to get a haircut. I couldn't deal with it. I couldn't. It just itches me too bad.
Yeah. Well, whatever my wife wants, I do it. That's what I do. She told me this morning, be shaved by the time I get home. I said, yes, dear.
Did you say JD? Campbell, he went like the whole time. Never shaved, no haircut. Didn't wear zippered pants apparently.
Yeah, I'm
JD.
Yeah, I went a long time without wearing anything but sweats. Actually, it's still the case.
Same for me, like Adidas sweats, and all the time. Matter of fact, I'm wearing a pair of Under Armour sweats right now.
Yeah, it's hard to do my job when you have no access, when you're doing it all from your house. It's hard for everybody. I'm not bitching, but it's just, when you can't look a person in the eye and have a normal human interaction, it's tough. I mean, putting that last story together on the watch shot, everything was on the phone. I mean, it worked out okay, but that's not the way I prefer to work.
Yeah.
Apps every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. Leroy's Tavern also features a $6 daily lunch special.
It was a great piece, though, man. I loved it.
Monday through Friday, featuring a sandwich, fries, or onion rings, or a 7-inch pizza and a non-alcoholic drink for just $6. Be part of the karaoke fun every Friday and Saturday night. Leroy's Tavern, a West Side tradition for 50 years at 2659 Mount Vernon.
This is former Indiana basketball player Brian Evans, and you're listening to Indiana Sports Beat with Jim Coyle.
Today's guest is brought to you by Reynolds Family Dentistry of Sellersburg. You need $1 million smile for those championship photos, and that's exactly what you'll get with Reynolds Family Dentistry. Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat, coming to you here on this Wednesday from the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios. Jordan Hull sitting in with us as always, and the great Bob Kravitz from The Athletic with us. Bob, how are you, sir?
I am great, gentlemen. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Great piece yesterday or whenever it came out, day before yesterday. I can't remember, but yesterday on the chronicling the watch shot from a viewpoint that was very different, and it made it very interesting. Jordan was one of those that you got to speak to, but it was a good perspective and pretty unique.
Well, yeah, it was an oral history. That's something The Athletic really likes to do, is kind of go back and find these sort of transformative moments and get in touch with everybody who was involved. And I talked to Christian. I was hoping to have it done by the 9th anniversary, but Christian was a little tough to get a hold of. I had to pull some strings, but I was not going to write that without the guy who made the shot. So once I got him, I was like, all right, let's get ready to roll. Let's get this out there.
Jordan, you're always participating in that, and it's been talked about so many times since it happened, but this was kind of a different viewpoint and kind of a neat for the fans to see it that way. Still looking back for you, what was it like?
Oh, man, I mean, just, the way that game was going, the way that it ended against one of our biggest rivals, it couldn't have been scripted any better. We should have probably won the game by earlier than the last second shot, but it made for a good ending. And just being in that moment, being on the floor, playing a big part in that game, and seeing how well we fought back. We were up, then we kind of let it slip away. Then, to have that last play drawn up and then execute it, and then somewhat execute it, and then, somewhat, yeah. And then have Christian make the shot and the crowd storming the floor. I mean, you couldn't. It's something that you grow up, especially for me, seeing shots like Kirk Haston, who beat Michigan State, or where they rushed the floor, and to be able to be on the team where that actually happened was a pretty special thing.
Can I say something? I don't know if you guys, when you read the story, if you looked at the comments below, there are some really salty Kentucky fans out there. Holy crap! I mean, you think Oh, the messages or the comments are unbelievable. Like, is this what Indiana basketball has come to, that you guys celebrate something that happened 9 years ago in a non-conference game? Yada yada yada. I'm like, just give us our moment. For the love of God, give us something. You guys you guys went on and won the national title. You win the national title all the time. Got great teams except for this year. Maybe they're salty because they're 1-6 or.
That's exactly why they're writing it. Yeah, that's exactly. They're a little mad right now because they're not winning any basketball games.
That's what it is. But it just blows me away. It's like people can't be graceful.
Dude, the first two comments I pulled up, Bob, are, does he have dreams about getting smacked in the tournament to Kentucky? They celebrate this shot like it was a title winner, blah, blah, blah.
Right. It's like, and by the way, that NCAA tournament game was the best game of the tournament.
It was really good.
It was 102-90, and it was close.
Very high scoring game.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
You don't expect Michael Kidd-Gilchrist to start making jump shots and them shooting 30. They went like 32 at 32 or something crazy from the free throw line that game.
They had to play a damn near perfect game to beat you guys that night.
Exactly. Yeah, we played them the best than any other team that year, and obviously it showed. They were a really good team.
Yeah, and the talent on that team is incredible. It's just mind-boggling the talent that they had on that team.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean they had the top 2 picks. All 5 starters got chosen in the first 2 rounds, and maybe even the top 6 guys. I have to go back and look, but the guy that I worked with on it, Kyle Tucker, who covers UK, said that total earnings for those guys in the pros now is $471 million and counting.
Jordan, is that your current contract?
Which is roughly what Jordan makes over in Germany, right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I wish that'd be nice.
Minus a few Schnitzelbergs, I guess.
Yeah, Darius Miller was over here in Germany. He got drafted, and then he was playing high-level European basketball. I played against him here in Germany when he was in Bamberg, and now I think he's back in the NBA. So he might have been that 6th man on that team.
Yeah, that's probably the 6th guy. Yeah, did you guys ever discuss it?
No.
I didn't think so.
Have you ever talked to anybody from Kentucky, like within the last 5 years, about it? What's the last conversation you ever had with a Kentucky player about it?
No, I don't. I haven't talked to any Kentucky player. I've never. The only one that John Hood maybe, but he was in my class. I haven't talked to him since I played in the Kentucky Derby with him. That's the only reason I knew who he was.
Well, we tried like crazy to get Calipari and get some voices for Kentucky, and understandably, they were not enthused about participating in this particular project, especially Cal, whose team is circling the drain right now.
Exactly. They're 1-6, worst start since like 1911. But what is it, do you think, that's really about that loss, that game? I mean, I know that people storm the floor, but that happens all the time, and so it's not that. And to hold that grudge this long, it's just a little surprising because these are 2 teams that should never not be playing.
Well, I mean, look, I talked to Tom Crean about the death of the rivalry, and he said he thought that him and Cal could have worked it out eventually, but a lot of other people started making a lot of noise, and this is just me putting 2 and 2 together, but I think he was referencing Fred Glass, and he said that was kind of the fly in the ointment, that once Fred started saying the things that he was saying, that Cal just dug his heels in and said, nah, this is not going to happen between our 2 schools.
Well, hopefully that gets changed because, Jordan, you played in the last game that they had. And before that, they were still doing the back and forth in Louisville and Indianapolis, which that was fine too. The home courts makes it a lot more special. But to not play at all, it's just that's a loss that I think for college basketball.
Oh, there's no doubt. Oh, I'm sorry, Jordan. It's you. I'm sorry.
No. Go for it. You're good.
No, it's a damn shame. And you see this with a lot of other, rivalries. Coaches just don't want to schedule possible losses. This whole thing that, the fans stormed the floor and they said nasty things to the players. Give me a damn break. Grow the hell up.
It happens all the time. I know it's that's why I'm saying I wonder what the real issue is. Was it the loss? His number one team, he got beat. I mean, it's just got to be something because it can't just be that.
Well, Cal had made it clear even before the game that he wanted to. He did not want to do the home and home. That he wanted neutral court games, but. And having said that, I see no reason why they couldn't have made it work. But again, Crean said that, people got involved that shouldn't have gotten involved. It should have been just Crean and Calipari working it out. And once that happened, he dug his heels in and said, it's just not going to happen. It's a shame because right now I think Indiana could beat Kentucky.
Well, yeah, I don't think there's too many teams that couldn't beat Kentucky right now, it looks like. But speaking of Indiana right now, we move forward. They have a game tonight against Penn State, starting out 0-2 in the Big Ten. Of course, the Big Ten, a juggernaut this year, 9 teams currently ranked, does not include Maryland, does not include Purdue. It's crazy, but Archie's got he's got a mountain to climb. He
got to win tonight. He's got to win tonight, or this thing could spiral pretty quickly. I wish Jordan had some eligibility left because Jordan, you're the guy they need right now. They need shooters. We live in a state where young men and women pop out of the womb and, within an hour and a half, they're knocking down 20-footers.
There's one of them.
How could we in a state that we said we grow basketball, right? We grow jump shooters. And for Archie not to have one guy on that team who can consistently knock down jump shots is just mind-boggling to me. And it's the problem with this team. It's been the problem with this team for the last 3 years.
Yeah, it's tough, Jordan. I mean, no one knows better than you. You guys, if a team cannot hit shots, it prevents you from doing a whole lot of other things.
For sure, and we've talked about this before. If you're not hitting from the outside, then all the other teams are going to do is just pack the paint. And who's that going to cause more trouble for? Our big guy down in the paint. He's going to draw double teams, which is great. So he should be able to kick it out and get open shots, and that's going to open up everything else during the whole game. I've said before, we've got great guys who can get in the paint. Rob can get by his first line of defense, and then we got to be able to make the right decision. I think Trey Galloway does a great job of penetrating and kicking. He got Armaan Franklin a lot of his shots in the Illinois game.
He did.
Just driving and kicking and knowing when to pass and making a pass on target. The pass makes the shot, and being able to do those kind of things, and then using better spacing on the floor. And if Trace has a speed and athletic advantage, we need to try and utilize that as well. Try and get him rolling downhill and elevating over people, and obviously get him to a strong hand. He loves that left hand. So if we can try and utilize that more, of course, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to figure something out, but weaving around the arc and just passing the ball around and not penetrating kicking is going to be difficult for us to make outside shots.
I love Galloway's game. I got to tell you guys, I love Galloway's game. He just knows how to play, and he makes things happen every time he touches the ball. He's not putting up big numbers scoring wise, but like you said, Jordan, I watched that game pretty closely the other night. Like, as you said, most of Armaan's baskets came off of Galloway passes, and I like his game. I like the fact that he started over Phinisee. Phinisee, look, I don't like criticizing college kids. You guys are doing this, for scholarships. You're not paid. But having said that, Phinisee has not progressed. I just don't see it. Al has his moments, but he's inconsistent in the backcourt. But Phinisee just doesn't do it for me. And, I wish it was otherwise. He seems like a really nice young guy. But, I think we're closing in on time when we got to see what Christian Lander can do.
Yeah, I hope to see more minutes for him. The rise of Armaan Franklin, mentioning him, Jordan, that's been a godsend to this team. So we talk about need of shooting. He's provided some of that, but it's been a surprise. That was not someone we expected that from.
Yeah, I mean, he's got great size, good length. Yeah, he's got great size, great length. He plays both ends of the floor, which is definitely what Archie and Coach Miller wants. I think that's one of our things too. We got to get stops and get out and run. That's when we're going to be at our best. You get Trey pushing the break, you get Rob, whoever it is, pushing it up, Trace running the floor. Like, we need to take advantage of all those stops and not just walk it down, getting a half court set. There's a time and place for that, of course. But with the way and style that we're playing and how we're shooting it, if we can get out and get easy buckets, that's just going to open up and build confidence. If you see Rob, there's a little bit in that game where he kind of got some confidence. He had a nice move. He took it to the bucket, pivoted, finished with the left hand. Like, those are kind of plays that we need to see more from him, I think. I don't know if it's a confidence thing, because we've all seen spurts of Rob playing great defense and then converting that to offense. Same with Al. So I think we just need to get not just one, two guys. We need all 5 guys on the court to be on the same page. And if we're not gonna shoot those threes and make those threes, we got to get the stops on defense and get easy transition buckets.
But tell me if you guys agree or disagree. But it seems to me, one of my criticisms of Archie has been that very few players have really, really gotten a lot better from year to year. But I think that Armaan Franklin, year over year, has made the biggest leap of any player in the Archie Miller era. Would you agree with that?
From my standpoint, absolutely, because he was basically a non-factor who lost his minutes last year and then to come in this year, and he's stepping up. He's the number 2 guy at worst right now.
Right. I mean, Juwan Morgan got better, but I think Juwan, he was a Crean guy and was already on that trajectory. But yeah, I look at Armaan Franklin, I'm like, now that guy has made a leap the way, Victor made a leap. Where he was a guy who was just an athlete and then all of a sudden became a player. And they need more of that. They just need more of that.
Absolutely. We're a few days away from the bowl game. Are you headed to Tampa this year?
No. I cover everything from my couch and my office at home. It
lucky
really,
man.
No, I'm not. I want to go to Florida. I bring my sticks. I'd be a happy man. I would socially distance on the golf course. It would be awesome. But no, I'm not traveling. So, but yeah, I'm curious to see how this goes, because, the shame of it is, for all the great things that have happened for IU football, is that they're really in a no-win situation. If they win, well, damn, you're supposed to beat a sub 500 team that's got a lot of injuries and a lot of COVID-19 issues. And if you lose, then look out. Now everybody's going to jump on your case because you the fan base, not Tom Allen, but the fan base is all complaining that you deserve to be in a New Year's Eve bowl, and now people are like, yeah, sure, same old Indiana. So they're in a no-win proposition, but I think they'll have their way with the Ole Miss and finish it off on a high note. It's just a shame that they got screwed by the Big Ten and got screwed by the College Football Playoff Committee.
Yeah, Indiana's kind of one of those teams on the outside. They're a Cincinnati, they're a BYU, a Boise State, but they're in the Big Ten, but not getting the advantages of being in that conference, unfortunately.
No. I mean, it's like they're a group of 5 team, and I understand that they didn't beat anybody with a winning record, but those are good teams, historically good teams, and one of the reasons they had losing records because IU beat them.
Exactly. Bob, what do you have coming up next? A great piece that on the watch shot for people to go to. The Athletic already out there now, but what's coming up next for you?
Well, obviously the bowl game, and I got a piece coming out pretty soon about the Irsay family and the initiative that they have right now for mental health, which I think is incredibly important, and they're trying to erase the stigma that comes with mental health issues. So that should be out pretty soon, and we'll just keep on going.
Well, man, I appreciate you. Look forward to it coming out, and love talking to you about it when it does.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Bob. Bob Kravitz joining us here. Jordan Holmes is with us now. We got more coming up. Kyle Nedrip is going to be with us a little bit to talk about IHSA basketball. That and more here on Indiana Sports Beat. Back right after this. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate you.
All
man.
right. Thank you, man. I like this StreamYard. This is pretty cool.
I love it. I just started using it not too long ago, and it's easy, and it gives you more stuff you can do with it. You can put banners up.
Yeah, and I saw your producer giving me the break, like shut the hell up. So that was good. All right, guys. We'll see you around.
Bob, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Yeah.
Your mom got. I gave your dad gift certificates for your wife and your mom, but Aubrey probably won't see hers.
No, thank you so much. That's awesome.
She won't even see it though. I'm like, going to ask. She's not going to see that. No, I'm just kidding. No. I told your dad. I said, because it was only good for 6 months. I think is what it was, because I knew we talked about that time. I'm like, gosh darn it. But I'm like, it wasn't going to be a problem. But I told your dad, I said, she'll probably need to go back. Your mom would probably need to go back again. I said, just have her buy one for Aubrey when she comes back.
Perfect. Yeah. No, thank you so much, man. That's awesome.
Oh, it's the least. So when are you expecting them over there?
Man, so that was a week ago they were supposed to get here. The Social Security office, like I said, they didn't get Leo's passport back to us in time. It was over a month. We sent it over a month ago. They said, yeah, I'll be there 5 to 7 days. Okay, perfect. Because he was born in Germany, we had to pay a crap ton of money in taxes for the child, so we're just trying to get that back. But anyway, it's it didn't show up when they were supposed to leave, so we had to cancel it, and now we've just been waiting. And so we got that yesterday, his official one, but the day before we sent an application to get a new passport. So now we had to call like the senator and be like, hey, can you try and intercept this package? So the old passport's still valid. So like, it's just been a nightmare. It's been absolutely chaos. So I'm trying to get them on
valid. Is there a scan on it now or something?
There will be once it gets to the passport control. If someone at that office doesn't do their job and listen to the, advisor or whatever, that's supposed to just not process it. But if they process it, then it automatically is going to make his old passport invalid.
So what did you say about the college and pro football seasons? Bring friends together, and Leroy's Tavern is a place to watch all the games every week with the NFL Sunday Ticket while enjoying $1 Busch Light drafts every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. Leroy's Tavern also features a $6 daily lunch special from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday, featuring a sandwich, fries, or onion rings, or a 7-inch pizza and a non-alcoholic drink for just $6. Be part of the karaoke fun every Friday and Saturday. Leroy's Tavern, a West Side tradition for 50 years.
I've been putting it off, and I'm like, man, you better go get that. You're not going to be able to fly.
Yeah, and hopefully they don't.
I haven't flown in 2 years.
Hey, this is Jordan Hall, former Indiana Hoosier. Keep up with Indiana sports on Indiana Sports Beat.
Today's guest is brought to you by Reynolds Family Dentistry of Sellersburg. You need $1 million smile for those championship photos, and that's exactly what you'll get with Reynolds Family Dentistry.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat, coming to you from the Golf Club Eagle Point Studios on this Wednesday, the last Wednesday of the year. Jordan, I'll see you next year, man. I can say that already. Craziness. Latest trend are schools like Arizona, Auburn, to self-impose postseason bans in this crappy season, knowing that the NCAA is about to drop the hammer on them. Talked about this earlier. I've seen a lot of former coaches come out and say, man, the NCAA has got to get on these guys because they're just trying to skirt around. Everybody knows what's going on. Arizona, yeah, of course they want to self-impose ban because they're going to get the hammer dropped. Louisville, Auburn, LSU football and basketball. I think we got Kyle Nedrick with us, so we'll jump on that. Kyle, you with us?
Yep, I'm here.
All right, Kyle's with us. We'll jump on that subject later. How you doing, my friend?
Good. Just heading over to the Hall of Fame Classic this morning.
Man, that's always a great tournament, or not necessarily a tournament, but a great group of teams to watch. It's always a great time of year. Who else playing in that?
It's a Bar Reeves, Shenandoah, Fort Wayne Blackhawk Christian, and Blackford. So kind of a smaller school setting this year, and would have been great crowds. Obviously, with I'd say 3 of those schools would have brought a lot, and Blackhawk Christian's got a pretty good following too for a private school. So unfortunately they can't have all the fans there, but I know from talking to Chris May, they're able to have at least, I think they're in Orange this week in Henry County, so I think 25%, somewhere around 2,000 fans are in that neighborhood.
Jordan, when you were in high school and you played in something like this where all these other teams were there and there's these guys, and each team's got this guy that's known for them. What was it like being in that environment in high school?
Oh, for sure. And for me, I always played with a chip on my shoulder because, I wasn't getting highly recruited until later in my high school career. So going out and trying to prove to the older guys that I belonged and playing against other good talent is always what you want anyway. If you're a competitor, you want to play against the best and against teams that you may not face, normal on a normal basis or normal season. It's a great tournament and really, really good as a high school kid to go and be able to compete that way.
And of course, Kyle, those teams, there's a lot of names on these teams that high school fans are familiar with. And Bar Reeves is just one of those teams. They've just got a good program, and they've been solid for a few years.
Yeah, Bar Reeves always, one of the best teams in the state. And now, they almost knocked off Carmel last week. Carmel, you could argue they're the number 1 team in 4A. And I think they're ranked number 2 right now, but. They took them down to the wire, probably should have beat them. And then Carmel got the game in overtime and were able to pull away and win. But, Bar Reeves, I would say this is probably their most talented team they've had. Kurt Hopp going to Bellarmine is, 6'9", can shoot, and really good guard play on that team with Graber and, the guys that they have coming back from last year's team. And Hopp wasn't even on this team last year. He had to sit out a year. So, I'd say, they're as good as just about anybody, definitely a top 10 team in the state, regardless of class. I think probably the story of the day is see if Blackford and how Luke Brown does today. If they can win this tournament here today, that would be a pretty good, mark on his resume, as far as, Mr. Basketball and things like that. I think, he's a guy who maybe has a shot that is beyond the Trey Kaufman and Caleb First types, just based on what he's done point-wise in his career. So, it should be a lot of fun today. I would say, I would probably favor Blackhawk Christian. Just haven't seen them a few times, but, I think any of these teams, are capable of winning. And I know Shenandoah probably doesn't have the star power, but Dave McCullough, if you know anything about Dave McCullough, he's one of the best coaches in the state. Did a great job at Noblesville for many years there, and has done the same at Shenandoah. So, I guarantee they'll be really tough to beat today too. So it's always a fun event. Chris May does a great job, with the Hall of Fame over there. And it's always a fun day of basketball. Actually, I haven't been to this for a couple of years, so I'm looking forward to getting back and seeing it again.
And there's probably a lot of other this time of year in between Christmas and New Year's, sometimes a lot of tournaments going on. Any other big games scheduled within this next week?
Well, yeah, actually, yesterday I was out I went to 3 different sites and saw 6 games and just finished up writing a story about that day, just kind of a day in the life of, holiday tournament. So I was able to see some fun stuff. Went to Lebanon yesterday to start the day out. Went over to Morristown for a Covenant Christian and South Ripley are both undefeated, 2A teams. And that was a really good game. Covenant Christian won. And then Trey Flat last night for Covenant had 52 points and 11 3-pointers in a game. So they're definitely a team. And, headed back to with North Central, saw North Central Park Tudor, and then back to Lebanon for the nightcap, see Pike and Mooresville. And then saw a kid from Western score 39 points in about 2.5 quarters. So, there's a lot of stuff going on. Like you said, I would say, the Hall of Fame takes top billing today, but there'll be some good games out of Lebanon today too. And kind of curious to see who comes out of Perry Meridian. Has been playing really well too. The Butler recruit, Jaden Taylor. I think they could possibly, potentially win that tournament if they play well today. So, a lot of stuff going on right now. And then Saturday, we'll have a couple days off. And then Saturday will be another heavy day. probably the headliner game that day will be Attucks and Lawrence North, a couple of top 10 teams, both in the same sectional. So kind of a preview of that, but that could be one of the best games in the state that day.
Normally this time of year is a kind of a quasi break in the college game, but on the high school side, it actually ramps up, and then there's just no break. It just keeps on going.
Yeah, it does. I mean, there's there are fewer holiday tournaments this year just because some tournaments they just weren't able to have them because the teams had to back out. Even at Lebanon, talking to those guys yesterday, they said that on the girls' side they had several teams they had to replace at the last minute. And one on the boys' side they had to replace, but they're able to still do it. I love holiday tournaments. You kind of go in for I did something different yesterday and went to several different sites, but a lot of times you can just kind of sit down for a full day of basketball and just enjoy the day. See a lot of different teams, a lot of matchups you wouldn't normally see. Noblesville's had a really good tournament the last few years. They had to cancel this year, and that tournament's kind of like that. Richmond in the past has had a tournament like that, so. I always enjoy it. It's a little bit low key. It's not. I think everything's a little bit low key this year because of the crowd sizes, but just kind of fun to go out and see some different teams, different matchups you wouldn't normally see otherwise, and that's true of the Hall of Fame too. You wouldn't normally see some of these teams here today playing against each other, but that's kind of the fun of it. I can't remember. Jordy played, I think, in this when he was a senior, if I remember right. I can't remember for sure. Maybe that was after he graduated, but I remember his team, Bloomington South, being in one of these. That was a really good field back in the day.
So these you played in?
Yeah, I know I played in the Hall of Fame, but I want to say it was my sophomore year. I can't remember though. I can't remember which year it was. I know I played in the Hall of Fame, but I can't remember which year. I know Coach Holmes. I know D. Davis and Spencer and them went and played in it as well.
That might be the one I was thinking of. I think they played with the same year Nick Moore and Warsaw was in it, and that was
correct.
a really good field. I remember.
Yeah. I never played against Nick, but I think they did. That would have been a really good game to see.
Kyle, with the rising numbers, they've been rising for quite some time. I'm surprised on how smoothly things seem to continue to go on the high school side. Indiana is one of the states that has higher numbers than most, but it seems like things have just, it's kind of stayed the same. There's cancellations, of course, but it hasn't been bad.
Well, I don't know. Depends what your definition of bad is, because I think by this point
you're closer to it than I am.
And it just kind of. We're just kind of moving forward, and you wear a mask and go to the games, and hopefully everybody's doing that. But I was talking to a doctor yesterday up at Lebanon in the medical field, and he said he thinks this month of January will be pretty bad. I think coming off the holiday, and the vaccine's not really readily out there for everyone at this point, but he seems to believe, and things I've read too, by February, March, April, things will be looking a little bit better by then. We're not going to be out of the clear by any means, but I think we can see a little bit of a light, at the end of the tunnel now. And I'm certainly no expert on this subject, but I think from a sports perspective at this point, we're kind of seeing what it's going to be like for the next couple months. I don't see any big changes in teams having to quarantine and all that. And you can say what's right or wrong. I don't. I have mixed feelings myself about what sports are right now, and some of the crowd sizes that I see. But at the end of the day, I think this is kind of just we're just kind of living with it at this point, and I think that's how it'll basically be throughout the end of the basketball season anyway. And then I think hopefully by the end of the season we'll be on a little bit better track by that point.
I agree. What do you expect to see today?
I expect to see some really good. I think, like I said, I think the storyline is to see how Luke Brown plays today, and I think if they, Blackford at this point is undefeated and have played some good teams, beat New Albany. They've got some good wins under their belt. Anytime you can go to the Hall of Fame, that would be, to win a couple of games here today would look really good on a resume. When you're talking about postseason honors and. Mr. Basketball and those sorts of things. So that's kind of the thing I'm looking forward to seeing. I've seen Caleb Furst several times, the Purdue recruit. I expect him to put good numbers up today and have a big day. But I'm curious to see just who emerges victorious. I guess that's kind of the easy answer, I guess. But I think it's a really well balanced group, and I think whoever wins this has got some serious bragging rights, as far as that goes. So, from an individual standpoint, definitely looking to see Caleb Furst and Luke Brown, and then the next thing is to see who could kind of lead their team to a couple wins today. And I think it'll be some really good games. All the way through. All 4 games should be really good.
Jordan, I don't know if you're familiar with Luke Brown. He's kind of a lightning rod on the high school side. Scored a ton of points, changed schools, and was looking to threaten Damon Bailey's potential record. I don't know where is he with that. I don't keep up with that at all, Kyle. Where is that?
I was looking up about a week ago, and he would have to basically average what he's averaging now and have no cancellations and have to make it all the way to the state championship to have any kind of and I think even at that point, he would have to, maximize all those games to be able to break it. So it's pretty unlikely, I don't think Blackford is probably a favorite to win state, although I think they'll be in the mix to at least get to the regional. But like they did last year, they won their sectional. But I'd say it's a very outside shot that he could break the record. But man, he's a really good player. I know people kind of hate on him or think he's overrated or I see that sort of thing, and I don't know, the vocal minority. I kind of stay away from all that stuff on Facebook and all that stuff. But he's really good. He's really creative. I think he's probably a better passer than people give him credit for. I don't think he's like a black hole by any means. So I think there's some of that stuff out there that's probably just jealousy or people getting mad at a kid for no real reason. But that happens. I mean, that's kind of part of it. But he's just a lot of fun to watch, in my opinion. And I'm looking forward to seeing him today.
Well, I hope you enjoy yourself and have a safe trip. And, man, we appreciate you. Enjoy the new year, and we'll look forward to doing this again next week.
All right. Hey, Happy New Year, guys. I appreciate it.
Happy New Year.
There you go. Kyle Neddenriep from Indianapolis Star joining us as he's heading up to watch some high school hoops today, man, early all day. That's the great thing about this week, Jordan. And I forget because my days don't change, but when you hear like somebody that's heading up to watch a high school game at 10 in the morning on a Wednesday, I'm like, oh wow, awesome. I forgot. This is that week. There's bowl games on during the day. There's just games on all day. It's just a great fun week for those that can enjoy that. But just those high school games or those tournaments, those are fun times, man. But there's been just really good basketball this year. I've just been surprised at the quality of basketball this year on the high school side with all that is going on.
For sure. I mean, that sounds like a great day to me. Start at 10, go watch a bunch of basketball games in person. Nonetheless, that'd be a great day. But it's great to hear. Obviously, I'm not around the Indiana high school basketball season in person, or I don't get to see a lot of coverage on it other than through Twitter or something like that. But it's great to hear, when Kyle's talking about it and you, but the quality of basketball is still, what I grew up knowing and playing myself, and to hear that it's still continuing and on that trend is awesome to hear. So I'm glad Kyle gets to experience enough basketball today than most other people. I hope he has a great day with that. But I miss high school basketball for sure. Those are some great memories for me.
I was telling my daughter yesterday, I said, high school is one of the greatest times of your life. I said, but college will be too. I said, but it's just a different section. But a couple of games on tap tonight in the Big Ten. Nebraska travels to Ohio State. Nebraska may be the only team in the Big Ten that is not one that scares you, but other than that, there's 13 teams in this league that it's juggernaut. Indiana, of course, the other game, as they will be hosting Penn State tonight at the Simon Scott Assembly Hall. That game is at 8:30. After the game, coming on at 10:30, or roughly approximately 10:30, so make sure you tune into that. Of course, Todd Leary, and we'll see who we'll have as a guest. Jordan will be sleeping, so it won't be him. No, I'm just laughing at that time change, man. Sometimes it works out, but we got a lot more coming up here. We're going to talk about and preview tonight's Indiana Penn State game. Jordan Hulls is sitting in. Jim Coyle. We've got lots more coming up from the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios, Indiana Sports Beat. Back with more right after this. When's your next game?
We play on the road Saturday. Yeah, so it's about 2.
Y'all travel by bus, I guess. Most of the games are all close or train.
Yeah, we do bus. We'll do always bus, especially now with COVID stuff. There's some. I don't know if I've ever done the train. No, I've done the train once, which is cool. I like the train. It was a lot faster.
You've only been on the
obviously.
train once?
No, like to go to a game. I've been on multiple trains, but just as far as a team travel is always on the team bus.
That's the coolest thing about Europe. You can freaking go anywhere in no time on a daggone train. Just be there. And
yeah,
man,
when we lived in
we'd had that in this country.
Man, yeah, when we lived in Belgium, my wife, we didn't have any kids at the time, and Victor was playing in London. So her and a couple of the other basketball wives that she became close with, I asked Vic if he could get them tickets. They got on a train from Brussels, Belgium, went to, I think, Paris or wherever, and then they went through like the London Channel or whatever, through the fast train.
I know exactly where I can't remember that town. There's a town in France where it crosses over, and I can't remember the name of that town. But
yeah. So they did that, went under the water train and everything, and got to go see Vic play in London. It was awesome.
That is cool.
Oh, geez, that was 5 years ago. Yeah, 5 years ago. Time flies. That's crazy.
Yeah, Arizona self-imposes a ban, but yet, what are you going to do with that head coach that's been cheating his ass off?
Yeah, so the NCAA just allowing this to happen, or what? I've seen the tweets.
Well, no, they're just slow. They're just slow. These schools fight them and stretch it out and
That's wild. Of course, yeah, with the COVID season, everybody's going to try and do that. Yeah, let's give these bans. Yeah,
well, the best one was LSU football. They were 3-5. They were losing to they were losing to teams they shouldn't lose to.
Friends together.
We're going to take a full season
place to watch all the games every week with the NFL Sunday Ticket while enjoying $1 Busch Light drafts every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. Leroy's Tavern also features a $6 daily lunch special from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday, featuring a sandwich, fries, or onion rings, or a 7-inch pizza and a non-alcoholic drink for just $6. Be part of the karaoke fun every Friday and Saturday night. Leroy's Tavern, a West Side tradition for 50 years at 2659.
That's still waiting to get those tournaments up and running, huh?
What's that?
This is former Indiana basketball player Brian Evans, and you're listening to Indiana Sports Beat with Jim Coyle.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat, coming to you from the Golf Club Eagle Point Studios on this Wednesday. Jordan Hull's with us, as he is each Wednesday. I mentioned those mini corn dogs from Yogi's earlier, and I wrote it down. I wished I had them because I keep looking at it, and it's just making me so hungry. But I guarantee you, I'm going to make a note. Chris, send to Jordan. I'll have to get your mailing address over there. But I guarantee you, I promise you, he will get that done. I bet you they're very
That
good.
would be awesome.
That would be kind of cool. Huh? I'm going to get something myself.
Heck yeah. Some of those, some Opie's Mod sticks would be great if that was still a thing.
Opie's is closed, man.
Oh, man. I know. They're Mod sticks, man. Those are the old McCree's Deli ones. Whew.
Wow. Somebody needs to take that stuff over. We're talking about Opie's former longtime establishment in Bloomington right there on campus, that Opie Taylor's, that surprisingly closed back kind of after COVID started. Talk about losing. I don't know what all Bloomington may have lost, but I know I saw a piece in, I think it's the Star yesterday, talking about businesses that closed because of that. And It sucks, man. Hopefully we can get through it, but it seems like Kyle just said, hopefully we got the vaccine out. There's more vaccines that are close to coming out. So hopefully as everyone starts to get vaccinated, that changes everything, man, because you watch these highlights of these games, Jordan, and boy, you as soon as you watch a highlight of a great moment in that crowd, it just instantly reminds you of what we're missing.
Mm-hmm. Especially for the kids. Yeah, I mean, if it's high school, college, even in the pros, like, yeah, they're getting paid a lot of money to play, whether there's fans there or not. But, that's still part of the atmosphere. That's why you play. You're in front of big crowds. That's the excitement part of it. You're playing on the road. You go get a big road win to quiet the crowd. Like, that's the other side of it. That was what we always wanted to hear. Or see people walking out the steps before the game was over. That was always our goal when we went on the road, to get people to take the steps before the buzzer even sounded. That'd be our goal. But it's unfortunate, obviously, and I hate it for the kids who don't get to experience that this year. But, if they're freshmen, then they'll have a couple more years. Hopefully everything changes where we can have fans. But that obviously playing at Assembly Hall, that was one of the best things ever. Life experiences you never forget.
And right now, in those type of environments, if you're at home and you're playing in a game that's tight, and you normally hit that shot that your team needs, and that home crowd is there to really exemplify that. That's not there. What is that like? And then you go on the road, the same thing when you hit that shot that you need to quiet the crowd, like you talked about, but there's no crowd to quiet. What's the dynamic like? Because normally that gives you a burst. It gives you it changes things. It's not there now.
Yeah, it's especially it's late in the game. You hit a big shot. That extra, you're tired. Your legs are getting tired. You hit that big shot though, and the crowd goes crazy. That gives you that extra boost of adrenaline, and it stirs up the other team. Maybe gets them a little nervous, or they feel like they're down, whatever the case is. It's definitely missing, and it's the part of sports that said we'll play the game. That's a cool thing. You're actually the player getting to experience that kind of stuff. Even for me this year, we don't have as big of crowds as we do back home, but without the fans here, we have to rely on our own energy off the bench. And, in warm-ups, we're trying to, there's music playing and stuff, of course, but trying to get the most out of it from ourselves. We have to boost each other up, and the good and the bad. You can hear every play call. You can do, there's certain things that are advantages for the other team as well. Just calling plays and stuff. The crowd usually mutes that out for the most part, but it's just a different year, man. But we're all getting through it and making the most of it, and just happy to be playing is the main thing, though.
Tonight, Indiana taking on Penn State at home at the Simon Skjodt Assembly Hall. Both teams 0-2 in conference play, so someone's going to get their first win tonight, but these are two different teams. Indiana, their 4 losses have all come to ranked teams. Although they haven't looked spectacularly offensively, they haven't looked horrible. And this is a game, you heard Bob Kravitz earlier say they have to win, and they do have to win, because you cannot lose to this team. Penn State, Nebraska, the two teams are in the absolute basement of the Big Ten right now with Indiana in front of them. But this is a game where you have to use to cure those ills, to salve those problems, Jordan.
Yeah, this will be a good game for us to bounce back. And I thought we had our moments in the Illinois game. We had some chances there. Their guy got hot, hit some tough shots, and got to where he wanted to. But I think this is a good bounce back game for us. We need the energy. We need to, right from the jump, the first 5 minutes of the game, we need to kind of punch them in the mouth and see if we can withhold any of their runs. It's a game of runs. Everybody's going to make them. But if we can have more control over that and get out and run, get stops, it's going to be huge for us. And getting our first win in the Big Ten will be big. It's a stacked Big Ten, so every win, especially at home, is going to be huge.
Indiana's offensive woes of late, no secret, of course, but we talked about Armaan Franklin, the rise of him. He has been playing extremely well, shooting the ball well. There's guys that you'd sure like to see them be able to come along. Christian Lander, one of the freshmen, hoping that he sees more minutes. Archie's talked about him needing more minutes. And I agree. He's another guy that can shoot the ball. He's not only is he a freshman, Jordan, he's a reclassified freshman. And it's easy to forget that, but man, that is a year younger. And it's tough doing anything when you're 18 or a freshman. And then when you're doing it even a year sooner, it just makes everything tougher.
100%. There's a huge learning curve mentally, physically, from high school to college. And like you said, a whole year earlier than most. I mean, people wouldn't have let him do it if they didn't think that he was capable. So obviously he's a very talented player, and he's just learning as he goes. Obviously very skilled. So if we can get him some minutes here where he finds a good rhythm, feels comfortable off the ball screen, making plays, not necessarily having to score, but if he can obviously make open shots, or at least take the open shots, spread the floor out a little bit, and then make those passes to the guys who are open on the outside, and give them the confidence to take those shots and knock them in. That'll be huge for us. So I'm excited to see, again, our response tonight, protecting home court, and whoever ends up playing, just whoever it is, we need to bring the energy and understand the urgency of getting this first win, especially at home.
Trey Galloway has also been a little bit of a surprise, but he's been fun, kind of a fan favorite. Everybody's enjoying his 80s throwback attire, his mop hair. He makes Steve Alford look like just I don't know, an angel, because he's got the hair flying everywhere. He's got the pants pulled up higher, but he's doing those things that Indiana fans especially love, all those little gritty things. And you mentioned it leading to a lot of shots for Armaan Franklin, but does Trey Galloway need to look to score more?
The way he's playing the game, you can just tell by the way he moves and how he plays defensively, and the kind of cuts he makes or drives he makes. Of course, he's going to make some mistakes as a freshman. Everybody does, especially when he's trying to get the tempo going, especially on fast breaks. Looking to score more, I think he does need to take the open threes if he's got them. But I think his strength is driving and kicking and finding the right guy. And if he can get all the way to the basket, he's crafty enough to finish with the left or the right. Just trying to make the right plays. I think that's the most important thing for him. Obviously, if he scores 10 points a game, that'd be huge. But I think getting guys ready to shoot the ball or ready to attack off of his catch, attacking closeouts, I think that's where we can really benefit. And for him being the lead guy on that, will go a long way for us, and just creating for others. Not knocking down open threes, though. Everybody's got to be able to do that. I like to see him to, hit a couple threes if he's open and not be afraid to shoot it.
And we all know Indiana needs someone to step up as another shooter. We all know what those options are, whether it's Al Durham or Rob Finney or Christian Lander or Anthony Leal. There are different guys there. They have opportunities. When you're a freshman or when you're an upperclassman, these guys are both still battling. These are unknowns. It's waiting for that guy to step up. What's it like as a freshman battling a vet for that? And what's it like as a vet battling a freshman?
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, you should all be on the same page. It's not a matter of, I'm not letting this guy, why is this guy shooting? I should be the one shooting, or whatever. If you guys are winning ball games and everybody knows that we need to make outside shots, who cares who's hitting them? Let's make sure that we're making the right plays, and then, compete in practice, compete for that spot, whatever. But at the end of the day, where it's one team, and we're trying to be successful as a unit. And if it's Anthony coming off the bench and knocking down some shots or spacing the floor for us, even if he only gets 2 shots, or if it's him or whoever, we need to space the floor so Trace has some more room inside. And if he draws double teams, we can draw and kick and then penetrate out of that, draw, kick again, wide open shot. Those are the kind of things that I would like to see. We just need to space the floor a little bit better. And I'd love to see Anthony get out there and let it fly, not be tentative. I know once you come in as a freshman, maybe I shouldn't take this shot, or, you just got to come in. If you're open, shoot it. If nothing else, that's going to open up things later on. People are actually going to close out to you, then maybe you can drive by them later. But I think we just have to have that mindset and keep the floor spaced.
I have so luckily and fortunate to have a lot of you former players on with us. How difficult is it when times are tough, like right now, it's a little difficult for Indiana, because I know there are certain questions that I try not to ask because I know it's difficult. It's a difficult position to be in. But how difficult is it to be in that position and when things aren't going great for Indiana, and you're doing something like this?
You mean coming in as and off the bench as a young guy?
No. I meant like talking about as a former player, about Indiana basketball when things aren't quite so great. I know it's difficult because you don't want to. You're the last person that wants to lay on, and I get that.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. And I've been in their shoes. I've been on teams that were far worse than what this team's doing. So I know exactly how they're feeling and what kind of emotions they're going through and what's going through their head. Like, it's not like they're trying to miss shots. It's not like they're trying to turn it over. It's not like they're trying to lose basketball games. Of course not. Like, everybody's working as hard as they can. Of course, we want to see different results at times, especially as fans now. But speaking from a player's perspective, it's, as a player, I always, accepted that challenge. There is some pressure, but I knew what my abilities were. I knew I could shoot the basketball. So if I was a freshman, sophomore, or senior, it didn't matter to me. I knew what my job was, and I was going to do that to the best of my ability. And the coaches trusted me enough to put me on the floor to do that. I better go out there. I'm not out there to go and try and get to the basket all the time. I'm out there to shoot open threes and lead the team. So just know your role and understand what you're out there to do. And obviously on the defensive end, everybody's got to be connected. It's a team thing. There's one-on-one instances where everybody's got to be on their toes and doing their job there too, but it's a team effort, especially with the pack line that we run. So it's definitely difficult for thinking about that as a freshman. I had a little bit older group, Jeremiah Rivers, those kind of guys, and I was trying to find my niche there, and I was able to do that eventually 17 games into my freshman year.
Jordan Holt sitting in with us here on Indiana Sports Beat, coming to you from the Golf Club at Eagle Point Studios. We're back to finish it up here right after this. Been having to cook for yourself?
Oh yeah, same 4 or 5 meals for about 2 months straight, just strict rotation.
What I have to ask about that. What are those 4 meals?
I can make tacos. I'll make some like bolognese, penne pasta. I'll make some chicken and rice. And then I make homemade pancakes. That is my one good thing I'm really good at.
Ooh. I used to have a waffle maker, and that was the greatest thing because you just pour it in the stupid waffle maker, close the dang thing. You can put in like chocolate chips or blueberries. It was great. When my girl was little, and I'd make them, thought I was the king.
Man, I haven't invested in a waffle maker yet, but
dude, they're cheap. It's like I just saw one for like $25 or $30. It's nothing. And this was one that had its own flip thing, like you see at the hotels you stay at.
Yeah,
it was nuts. I made like once a week trying to make spaghetti, but I made it yesterday. But I go buy like a can of clams and saute them with some mushrooms, onions, and garlic, and then pour the sauce in and let that cook and then eat that. It's pretty easy. Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah. What happens to me though, like I don't ever cook any sides. I'm too lazy. Like I get home from practice late. I just want to make spaghetti, some sauce.
I was gonna say it's a great thing with spaghetti. You don't need any sides.
No, it's easy.
Toast.
Yeah.
Toast, baby.
Yeah, I have toast, put some butter on it, some garlic, some salt and garlic or something.
The guys know how to live.
Yeah, when I lived in Coastville, I ate buttered noodles like 3 or 4 times a week, man. That's it. Some salt and some butter.
This is a conversation I need to save for the air. This is hilarious. It's like being in college again.
Oh yeah, and it doesn't help. I'm super cheap, so I'm like, yeah, I'll have a tuna sandwich for dinner.
Dude, I make some bad, but everything I make, I try to jazz up. I love my tuna. I make it spicy.
Someone told me to try. I tried it and it was interesting. Tuna and peanut butter on a sandwich. Yeah, it was interesting. It was very interesting. that's what happens when you're over here. You get so bored, guys, and start coming. Oh, that's 2 things of protein. So
when football seasons bring friends together, and Leroy's Tavern is a place to watch all the games every week with the NFL Sunday Ticket while enjoying $1 Busch Light drafts every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. Leroy's Tavern also features a $6 daily lunch special from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday, featuring a sandwich, fries, or onion rings, or a 7-inch pizza and a non-alcoholic drink for just $6. Be part of the karaoke fun every Friday and Saturday night. Leroy's Tavern, a West Side tradition for 50 years at 2659 Mount Vernon.
There we go.
Hey, this is Jordan Halls, former Indiana Hoosier. Keep up with Indiana sports on Indiana Sports Beat.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat, here on this Wednesday of this holiday week. Jordan Hull sitting in as he does from the home side in Germany. Talking about that, and in between, we're talking about you have to cook for yourself a lot because his family's not there yet, waiting for them to arrive, and so he's got to do everything and cooking too. How's that been cooking? I mean, I know it's not your first rodeo there, but what's it like cooking by yourself in a foreign country?
Yeah, well, I've come a long way since my first year. First year over here, I spent a lot of time just, pre-made dinners like lasagna, just thrown in the oven, or pizzas or whatever. But I've gotten a little bit better. I go through like a 4 or 5 meal rotation. Whether it's chicken and rice, I have a taco night. I'll do some bolognese, pasta. I make good homemade pancakes. Really good homemade pancakes once a week, maybe, or once every 2 weeks. Then I'll sprinkle in a salad with tuna or something like that, but nothing too extravagant. Pretty
easy. It sounds like.
Yeah, I'm lazy when it comes to cooking. I'm not going to do any exercise. I'm not going to do any of that. It's like either a salad and some little piece of bread and good to go with my pasta, or that's it. That's it.
Now, while you're alone there still, do you eat out much over there?
The restaurants are closed here to go and sit down. I can get delivered food here if I wanted to. The grocery store actually has good sushi. I'm a big sushi fan, so whenever I go do grocery shopping once a week, I'll pick
man.
up a couple things.
You talk about getting sushi in Germany.
Oh yeah.
Really?
It's just like getting it. It's just like getting it in Indiana.
Yeah, but they usually have somebody from Tokyo and they're making it. Usually, is who's making the sushi there in Germany?
Oh yeah, same.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's diverse. It's diverse everywhere. So it's authentic. It's good sushi. And so I'll have that for a little snack, and peanut butter sandwiches is my little snack. Or I'm pretty lazy when it comes to cooking though. Always got to have my coffee every day too.
I hear that. JH1, what's going on with JH1, Jordan Hose 1 Academy? You got him going on in a couple of places now, Ohio, Wisconsin, Indiana.
Yeah, a couple places. It's again, it's hit or miss with the COVID situation, with different age groups and stuff like that. So we're just trying to make the most of it. I hate it for the kids, trying to make it a great experience, but 2020 hasn't been so generous to any of us, but a lot of good people who are involved, and they've been super cooperative and understanding of the situation, whether it's difficulties getting things due to COVID or whatever. So it's fun. I'm super blessed to have great people around me and help me with that, even when I'm away. But I'm looking forward to getting back home and ramping that back up and seeing what I can do next. Hopefully I can have my camp again this summer. And then I'll continue my one-on-one training or group trainings with JH1 training. Looking to find gym space and all that good stuff. So be on the lookout for that. I don't post a whole lot on my social media, but I'll keep everybody informed when I know more.
Absolutely. Looking forward to that. We talked about that before. Because of the COVID, it was different. You got to go back later over there and spend a lot more time working on the training this year. Didn't get to do the camp because of it, but got to do a lot of individual training. How does that help you? How does that help you when you're doing that?
It's awesome. I mean, I don't know if the kids really realize how much they actually helped me as a player too. Really, because I have a wide variety of kids from beginners to intermediate to pretty highly skilled kids. So for me to truly have to break down each drill, understand why we do a drill, or how I can better connect with that kid, to make it click for them, is kind of helping me as a teammate to know how to, try and get something across to a teammate that I have here. Everybody learns differently. Everybody has their own ways of thinking. So for me to be around that and trying to figure everybody else out and what works for them best has truly helped me as a player myself. And I got to do a lot of ball handling this summer, every single day. If I had kids from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., that's a lot of different ball handling drills that I got to demonstrate. So it was truly a huge passion of mine, and I think it really ignited a fire for me. And I'm looking forward to getting back with all those kids this coming summer and helping them get better. Saw some huge transformations. It's really rewarding, and the kids seem to like it as well. So as long as they enjoy the coaching and understand that we're going to work hard and work on the fundamentals first and master that, it's a really cool thing for me to bring back to the community.
Earlier I asked how difficult it was to get back into the mindset because of all the things we talked about, because going back late, because of COVID, because of all the changes that it caused. Did doing all those workouts make that easier to get back into the game?
For sure. And it was at a different capacity, obviously, because I'm doing the training. And I've always done a little bit of training, but this summer was, like we've talked about, way different. I did it, like I said, from 8 a.m. to sometimes 8 p.m. Every day with individual kids. And it really did help me, because it forced me to be working on my game every day, whether it was super strenuous, but if you're on your feet that long every day, you're going to get some type of workout in anyway. So for me, that transition into working on myself, that helped that transition. And then once I got over here, I was in pretty good shape, doing all my own stuff. But I kind of dove all in with what I was doing with the training too, though. Like I sacrificed a lot of my own personal time to do that for the kids here and to see where I could really take it. And I was very happy with where it got before I left. And I was happy that I got to find the positives out of not having a job when I normally do. Not having a place to go as early when I usually leave in August. I left in October. So for me, it was blessing in disguise to be able to stick around and help some kids for a longer period of time.
Tim hit the text lines and asked, has Jordan made a shot in the opponent's basket before, like Thomas Bryant slammed the other night? I missed that. I didn't see that. How did he slam into somebody else's basket?
He flew. Yeah, I saw that on Twitter, I think. Yeah, he flew in to try and grab the rebound with his right hand, and he obviously knew he did something wrong when he landed and it went in, but it looked like he was just trying to snatch it out of the rim. But he ended up it looked like he just tip dunked it back into the wrong basket. I've never done that.
Goal.
I'm not tall enough to do that, so.
Kind of, yeah. You got to be around the rim to get an own goal in basketball. Ryan from Whitmore, Michigan, thinks it's going to be Indiana 72-59 tonight. That's his prediction for the game. I can see that. If Indiana's not played terribly, like I said, they just haven't played great. And you've got to play better. You've got to hit more shots and allow less. It's a simple formula on paper. I mean, it really is.
Score more points.
It's a lot easier said than done.
Yeah, no, if we can get out, score 72 and hold them to under 60, that'd be great. Like I said, getting out and run. I think we can control that. If we get stops and get out and run, that's when we'll be at our best for the short term. Obviously, being outside shooters is going to help, but I think if we do that tonight, we'll be in good shape.
Let's see the bowl game this weekend. You'll probably be able to watch that because I think that's about 12:30. So yeah, you'll be able to watch that game. Will you be able to take that in?
Oh yeah, I'll watch. What day is that?
Saturday.
Ooh, I got a game Saturday, so I'll for sure be tuning in if I can. I know I have a game Saturday, but I need to double check the time is
It may be very close to the same time because I think the game's probably at
Coach
12:30.
Allen.
I think so. You had 7, so it's going to be like 7:30 or so, probably your time. We'll see.
I'll have to record it and watch it later.
Man.
Then
It's been a blast as always. I can't thank you enough. I can't wait. Waiting for the family to get there for you. I couldn't be more excited for them to get there, man. But delayed Christmas present, but we'll look forward to it maybe next time. We'll keep doing that. But hope you have a great rest of your week. Good luck on Saturday, and we'll look forward to seeing how that goes.
perfect. Yeah, appreciate it. See you guys next week, hopefully.
Thank you so much, Jordan Halls. Bob Kravitz, a big thank to him as well for joining us here on the program today. Cal Neddenrip as well. We'll be back tomorrow to do this once again. I hope you have a great day. Enjoy the game tonight. Don't forget, after the game with Todd Leary, afterwards coming to you from Yogi's, just go to YouTube and find the Indiana Sports Beat channel. We'll be there. But until then, I'm Jim Coyle. Make sure you do something nice for somebody. Wear your mask. Until tomorrow or tonight, I'm Jim Coyle. I'll see you on the radio.